Let's talk now to Dr. Fabio Favata from the European Space Agency. Dr. Favata, good to see you. I mean, this is one of the European Space Agency's most ambitious missions. It surely is a proud moment to see liftoff.
Indeed it is. It has been a very emotional day, not least because the launch was postponed yesterday because of weather, but now it has been a picture-perfect launch. Everything has been nominal, everything has been beautiful. Emotions have been relieved, and now everybody is looking forward to the first phase and in the end to the actual scientific measurements to be performed by the mission.
I know you're not looking for signs of life, but you are looking for signs of, well, supporting mechanisms for life, aren't you? Explain that.
Well, yes. I mean, signs of life is very ambitious, but certainly liquid water is a prerequisite for life as we know it. And Ganymede, together with other ice moons of Jupiter and Saturn, has plenty of it. So it's certainly the ideal place in which to look for such life in the solar system. So JUICE will orbit Ganymede, the first ever spacecraft to orbit a moon of another solar system body, and will map its surface, will map the thickness of the ice. Ganymede is a magnetic field. We'll measure everything that we can possibly measure from orbit, and therefore try and establish if really this could be a potential exobiological site in our solar system.
I know you've got all sorts of research equipment on board. What specific experiments are you going to be conducting?
Well, again, it's a holistic view of the moon where all the instruments will work together. As I said, there is a magnetometer, there is a subsurface radar, there are plenty of cameras, there are spectrographs. It is really a question not necessarily of a single experiment, as much as really getting a good view of the moon as one possibly can and its internal structure.
We were just hearing it's going to take 8 years just to get to Jupiter. How complex is this whole mission, and how long until we get some data fed back from this?
Well, it's a long trip and it's a complicated one. Getting to Jupiter directly requires lots of energy, and therefore that's why we opted for a bit more complex trajectory, which makes use of the energy, gravitational energy of a number of bodies in our solar system, including our own Earth, to go there through a rather complex trajectory. This makes for a much more complex mission operationally than it would otherwise be the case if this would be a direct trajectory. And so this makes for a complex mission. We're also using solar panels, so very big solar panels, very efficient solar panels. It is a mission that requires all sorts of inventiveness and resources. As you've said, it's 8 years cruise, after which we'll start acquiring data. So for the scientists involved, there is a bit of a long wait. It will take about another 9-10 years before we really have a complex integrated view of Ganymede, but it's worth the wait.
If you were a betting man, which planet do you think will be the first to show us signs of some kind of life? Is it going to be Jupiter or Mars or Saturn?
Well, I do believe that the icy moons of both Jupiter and Saturn are our best bet because of the liquid oceans under the surface. Now, for example, Callisto, which is one of the moons of Saturn, has already shown interesting plumes with evidence of organic material. Now, if you ask me whether it's going to be Jupiter or Saturn, I think the odds are even, but those are my best bets for exobiological sites in the solar system.
I guess you and I are the same sort of age. Our generation was inspired by all of those moon missions seemingly a lifetime ago. How important is this mission to inspiring a new generation?
Well, you're perfectly right. I have a very vivid memory of watching Armstrong set foot on the moon when I was a little kid. And I think it's very important to maintain the flame burning, inspire the young generation. And I think showing that we can explore faraway bodies, much farther away than the moon, that actually have a real potential for life is an amazing inspirational value.
Dr. Favata, good luck with the coming months and years, in fact. Come back on the show soon and update us. That's Dr. Fabio Favata from the European Space Agency.